Is it too cold? No, it's fair. It's good. But it usually get rid of it.
Right with me, he's gonna sit and watch. I mean, it's not a problem, right?
Yeah, take photos, do whatever you want. I don't care.
We're just saying.
It's an absolute mess, like.
Nah, you're organized. You can
Make a statement. You know what I need? If I ever raise any money or get a sponsorship of anybody, I'm buying a longer extension cord. Because that thing's about 2 feet long. It's a fucking joke. How you doing, mate? You all right?
This is my friend Randall. This is Gary. And this is Sean. I'm not sure if you ever mentioned.
Hey, Sean. All right. I've never had an audience.
I know where the Jameson scarf.
Do whatever you want, mate.
All right.
Do whatever you want. Don't come after me. Don't come after me. Me sound equipment as well.
This is awesome. I like your hoodie, by the way.
Mate, it's good, this, isn't it? There's a shop. It's a shop on Palisades around the corner from me.
Really?
It's decent.
They sell Jersey City gear.
They do. They try. They do a good job. They do a good job. Did you read them questions?
Yeah, a couple of them.
We'll see. We'll see where it goes. I went off what you give me, and then I was like, you know what? We'll see where this goes.
No, I liked it. Very organized. Oh my God, I walked in an interview with two blind. You know.
It'll be all right.
Oh yeah, for the most part, I liked them. I mean, all of it. You know. You sent me a lot. You sent me a lot of questions.
I know. We'll see what happens.
Welcome to the Crossing the Pond podcast, hosted by me, Gary Adair, where each week our guests will recount their own experiences of resilience and transformation, whether it's moving to a new country, tackling health challenges, changing careers, or breaking through personal barriers.
This week we take a look into the world of Vinny Valente, better known as Vincent the Owl, a Jersey City performing artist and storyteller whose words echo both the struggle and soul of city life. Vinny opens up about his humble beginnings, the creative influences that shaped his sound, and how he channels it into all of his music. We'll talk about the 9-to-5 hustle, late night performances, and all while providing for his family at home.
So, right, you grew up in Newark?
Yeah, I grew up in Harrison.
Oh, and I went to school in Newark.
School in Newark, yeah.
Didn't know that. See, the thing, I should do that. You know what it should be? There should be a segment, get to know your bartender. Because you know each other. We know each other from the pub, but you don't know anything else.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a new thing for me. All right. Okay, mate, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me out. Oh, mate, we're fucking going.
Oh, damn. Put my legs up.
Yeah. But you got circulation problems, or you
Yeah,
just...
probably.
Yeah, we're all in. My elephant out of the room. Vincent the Owl comes from where?
Owl. Right. So around 2010, I was grasping for aesthetic, and I didn't know what to pick. I saw this piece of art by this guy named Jeremy Fish. He's this like artist from San Francisco, and he draws. At this time, he was doing an exhibit about like cute animals with like deadly weapons. So it'd be this owl sitting on top of a grenade, and a gnome was on top of him, whatever. So I saw this piece of art, and I was like, very cool. I like owls. I think the owl was cool. So owl kind of turned into this acronym, operate with liquor, and that kind of fit the whole aesthetic as far as, you know, about my content and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the owl just kind of came, operate with liquor, and it's this one piece of art, man. It's really cool. I'll have to send it to you.
Stick it up as part
It's really cool.
So I got one shitty owl joke. It's an English thing now, but you went to England last week, so you will know, right?
Yeah.
So you know how you play pool in England, there's different rules. So you miss the cue ball or you miss your colour, you get an extra shot. So two owls playing pool, misses his ball. The other guy goes, 2 hits. The other one goes, 2 hits to who? No.
Man, I don't get it.
That's shocking. Don't owls make that noise? 2 hits to who? Fuck's sake, that died on his house. Second one, American one. So you're an owl, right?
I'm an owl, yeah.
Yeah. So my question, and I think a couple of people asked me this question as well. How many licks to the centre of a Tootsie Roll?
This is Josh's shit?
No. This is just... And to be fair, I've got one for you. So you can...
Unreal.
So as we go through
This is sickening. I'm not touching it.
I think there's like 15 pubes on that. I mean, like there's like Band-Aid on there as well.
101 licks. That's not many.
Oh, shit. Oh, definitely not.
It's about over
one
there.
less lick. That's one. Well, first of all, I thought my English joke was brilliant. No one got it. I mean, 2 Americans in the background has got it. Got no chance. And then the Tootsie Roll one landed though, definitely. All right, so born in Harrison, went to school in Newark.
Yeah.
For anything in specific, or was that just where you went? Is that like the catchment or what?
So Newark, my mom puts me in this Newark Boys Chorus School. Chorus school.
Okay.
Where it's, you know, it's math, science, social studies, and then you have 2 hours of singing every day. And then after school, you sing. Then there's a piano class and there's a music theory. My mom put me in that because I wasn't really doing good in Harrison schooling. Harrison has the worst schooling anyway. Like their high school, 10% of kids go to college, whatever. That doesn't matter. But
Right.
middle school, I just wasn't having a good time. And we had a friend that went to Newark Boys Chorus, and we went to like this pancake breakfast, and they showed us around the school. And it's one of them schools you got to pay, tuition for, and this and that. But I started.
Could you sing?
At the time, yeah. I mean, the audition was you have to sing Happy Birthday or
Okay.
Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
That's a horrible song to sing as well. Happy
It
birthday.
sucks. Yeah, it sucks. There was 40 kids in my graduate. No, it was 40. No, there was 10 kids in my graduating class, but in the whole school there was 80. Yeah, I was the only white boy. I pulled up, sang, and 2000, whatever year I went there. Yeah, I started going to Newark Boys Chorus.
What was fun about it? Because was it okay? Without sounding like, was Newark was coming from Harrison? Because again, the demographic in Harrison's very diverse, right? But then now going to Newark as well, you say, to being the only white guy. What was it like? What was good about it? What was tough about it? What was difficult at first, especially in fourth grade? So you're 8, 9.
Yeah, it was rough, man. I didn't have a good time the first couple of years, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I'd come home, I was like, Mom, I don't want to be here. And then we go on a trip to, I don't know, Frost Valley, or we do a show at Lincoln Center in the city. And then it'd be like, all right, this is cool. You know, I didn't want to sing, but it kept me out of trouble. You know, but as far as the kids, I mean, we started to be friends after a while, but in the beginning it was rough.
What was there a moment like when you think to yourself, okay, I belong here, or I'm enjoying it here, or it's something that I can stick with?
All right, so yeah, 4th and 5th grade, you're in the apprentice choir. So you just travel around America. And then 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, you become the concert chorus, which there's a trip every 2 years outside the country.
Okay.
6th grade, I went to Jamaica, Barbados.
It's part of school.
Yeah, part of school. 3-week tour. You finish all your studies. You have a teacher that's there teaching you your studies while you're on tour. We're all in our hotel rooms. Then we do concerts at night. I remember specifically in Jamaica, we perform at these hot-ass churches, and we'd have these button-ups and bow ties. I got to send you a picture of that. And we'd be sweating. And then we'd be doing these moves in Jamaica. It was mad fun. Yeah, we'd have class in the beginning of the day. We'd get up, we'd eat like fly fish for breakfast and like hot goat milk. And we were just, this is Jamaica. This is awesome. We're just having fun. 3 weeks. I remember that was the first time away from my mom. I called her up. I was like, I got to come home. I'm like so homesick. I don't know what was going on. I was with 3-4 teachers and my concert chorus, 30 kids. And we just had gigs every day.
Just like a fish up a tree over there, like no idea what's going on.
No idea. Just a young kid. And then that was 6th grade. And then 8th grade, we took a trip to Russia, Latvia, Finland. And I was 8th grade. That was fun because I was the leader. Like we were in the 8th grade and that was the highest grade you can go to. So we were in charge of taking care of the kids and like making sure like everybody had the right thing and this and that.
What? Right, this might sound stupid, but why? Why Russia? Like chorus school in Newark. All right, yeah, it's a scholarship thing. You're playing Lincoln Center, you're playing this, but then you go to Jamaica. All right, it's a little bit closer, but then Russia.
You'd be surprised. 2 years earlier, or 3 years earlier, I was in the concert course. They went to South Africa.
Okay.
They learned songs there, and we were singing them throughout our 3 years. They went to Japan earlier. It's like, it's just a list of places that would book us, and just Russia was on that list.
So was music, so you say, all right, sing Happy Birthday. You sing a couple of other songs to get yourself in the school. You start moving around. When do you start? Did you ever start at that point, even at a young age, thinking, I'm going to get this music is going to be the way that I'm going to express myself and get things out there and be a part of a scene or a community? Or were you just like, this is fun. I'm used to it now. I'm managing it.
I looked at it like a regular study. Like when kids in like 4th grade were looking at like gym, science, math, health. I just looked at it as that was a class that I had to pass. So you had to be good at singing. You had to care about it. You had to go home and study and practice. My mom would buy me a little Casio, and I'd be at home playing these songs. So I go to school and I'd be good. Remember, I was 9 years old, at 10 years old. I'm still trying to get a good grade in school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I looked at it as just like a subject. And I knew I had friends not in that school that were just like, that's not a real subject anywhere else but your school. We do shows like once a week at NJ Pack. We sang with like Aretha Franklin and just mad different people. I didn't get that at the time, but I don't know. I forgot the question, to be honest.
When did you, with all that stuff going on, because that's not normal. But it was in all that, did you think, this is pretty, I could go somewhere with this. I could do, I mean, listen, this is what I'm concentrating on in school. I can give this a go now and make something of myself with that.
Well, I knew that I wasn't afraid to perform in front of people.
Right.
So I knew that singing was whatever. I was like, I didn't want to sing. But I remember the reason why I started rapping when I graduated, every summer we had a barbecue for the alumni. And I said, I'm going to come back the next year, which whatever year that was next year. I said, I'm going to have this rap prepared. I'm going to perform it in front of everybody. So I wrote it. I'd write songs. And I had songs ready. And I remember I started rapping because I wanted to impress the kids that I went to school with. And then I go to high school, and you have to pick a major in my high school, a minor and a major. I minored in like audio technology.
Right.
So I started making beats, and then I maxed out credit cards. My mom bought me all the Core Tritons and mixers and everything, and I was making beats at home. And then, after high school, I'd done maybe a dozen shows at school, particularly like the Black Box Theater, and I do like these Martin Luther King Day shows, which is one of the worst shows I've ever done. It was horrible. I forgot my verse, and it was very bad. But other than that, like, it just became something I do as a hobby.
Where'd you go to high school?
High Tech High School.
Oh, you went to high tech?
Yeah.
That's where all smart kids go, you know.
That's what I heard. The
There
year
you go.
after me, that's when you had to test to get in.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have to test
You
to
were
get
the
in.
reason.
I was the reason. We're letting too many
They
kids
let you in, and then they're like, shit,
Letting
we
the
got to test
idiots
these kids now.
I just want to make beats all day. That's what I do.
What about, so you've been all these different places as a young kid. Are you picking up little bits from all the places you're going to? Or again, are you just breezing through it? Like, are you going to Russia and going, well, that's quite interesting, I'll go a bit of that? Or you're in Jamaica and you think, okay, maybe I can take a bit of that, or I learn something from there and put it in?
The teacher was always just like, act like you've been here before. It really just showed me just like to show up to places and just have a little confidence. Like, because you couldn't have been more out of your element going to a different country on a flight with crazy kids, and my mom isn't there. It really just taught me to just be cool wherever you're at. Wherever you're at, you're cool. Like, you know, you're not lost. You're just there. You're there with people that's taking care of you. As far as picking up culture, like, obviously, I always love food. So I knew the food was different. We were eating food out there. But I just remember Jackass was big when I was in Russia.
Okay.
So we had this Jackass club, and we would always do dumb shit like push like our boys into the bush, or like do flips into shit. That's the only thing I remember about Russia. Man, I was so young. I really didn't care, man.
Yeah.
It was normal. If they had a choice to say, oh, do you want to go or do you want to stay in Jersey and just be a kid, no one would have went on these trips.
Would you have been like the pioneer in your family? Does that make sense? Like you said your mum, sounds like so far anyway, your mum's been like quite a grounding influence on you. She's looked after you. She's done what needed to be done to get you by. But were you the one in the family that did move around and get away and get yourself all over the place?
Yeah.
What was it like at home growing up with your mom?
My mom was over here. My dad was over here. I grew up in Harrison, like I said. And my dad, he lived in Irvington. And so I'd spend summers and weekends with my dad. And during the week, I'd be with my mom. And I lived a whole different life in Irvington. For people that don't know what Irvington looked like 15, 20 years ago, it was, in the most respect I could say, it was a war zone where we lived. We were the only Italian family on the block. You walk up the street to grab a sandwich, go to the drugstore, go to the liquor store where my dad would be, in the bar where he'd bring me in, and we'd sit for hours. We'd be like, there'd be times like we'd be looking over our shoulder on the way home, and my dad would get pressed. And it's like, these are things I saw as a child that I probably shouldn't have seen.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was funny. We were the people on the block. We had a basketball court in the backyard, and our gate would always be open. There'd be 6 or 7 kids back there playing basketball at one time. My toys would get stolen. My shit would get stolen. But yeah, Irvington was fun.
What sort of stuff early on influenced what you were writing about? So when you first pick up the pen, so you say like 8th grade, you want to go back for those alumni barbecues, right? Mm-hmm. When you pick up the pen, you start writing stuff. What sort of things are you drawing on? Are you drawing on things that you know are going to get people interested, or are you drawing on things that you've experienced yourself and the way that you felt about certain things?
Oh, man, my content when I was younger was, I started rapping as soon as my father left the picture.
Okay.
So 2000, when I was, 13 years old, they're all like, I just dated the shit out of myself. My father left, me and my father
How old
lost
were you in
contact.
2000?
13.
I was 20, so carry on.
That's the last time I saw my father. And so my first whole album it was called Deadbeat Father's Day. 20 tracks of just songs I've written. I got all the addresses to my family, and I sent it to all of them. Who knows if my father ever heard it. Uh-huh. And so my content was just about my dad, the verbal abuse and the alcoholism in the family. And I think it's kind of ironic. A couple years later, I'm grasping for aesthetics. This is the thing that I was very ashamed of, the thing that I would never be. You know, I had my first legal drink when I was, 21, and I was like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
I embraced that lifestyle.
And now you sat with me with a Jameson scarf on your head.
Shit took a turn.
Talking about operate with liquor.
Telling you.
No, that's
It was wild.
It can be though, isn't it? What was early? You talk about the first album release, right? Being your dad.
Yeah.
What other early influences early on did you sort of grab hold of?
Well, my whole thing was I wasn't Vincent Diao earlier. I was another name. It was Verbal Phantom, which is very like underground and whatever, corny. It was just the guy that raps. He's a ghost. He raps. He's a ghost, and that's it. He doesn't want to be seen. Doesn't want to be this and that. I just always wanted to be a recording artist.
But that kind of goes against what you said, though.
Exactly.
Like, be the guy on the stage. Be the guy. Act like you've been there before. Show the confidence. Because ever since I've known you, it's been confidence this and confidence that. Like, what do you think? Why do you think that was at first?
I don't know. I'm just a walking contradiction my whole life. I never thought anything was cool. It's just I realized that if I was very comfortable on stage, it'd be hard if I wasn't, if I didn't have to always perform. That was just a name I picked. I'm not even quite sure. So long ago. I rebranded in 2014 to Vincent Diao. But yeah, the whole Verbal Phantom shit was just lyrical, and it's just I'm just this little white boy that raps. And now everybody fucking raps.
What's it like stepping into that? I always think about and I'm going to sound like a right cheesy bastard. I think like 8 Mile, me. That's what I'm thinking now when I'm thinking about you.
8 Mile was like 2002, right? So you figure that was around the time I was starting. Yeah, I would relate, but I don't really battle like that.
No, but like that, just going into what is a largely cultural environment, diverse environment, as this, like you said, this little white kid from Madison.
I think I did it because it was so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just embraced it almost at that point.
I remember in middle school, 8th grade, there was my 3 friends. They were in a rap group, and I wanted to be in it so bad. I'll never forget, it was called the Treacherous 3. And then one of my boys, Will Simpson, if you ever watch this, man, Treacherous 3, never forget. I wanted to be in it, and I was like, we could just rebrand it as Treacherous 4. I made the little white boy. And I always thought my pen was very nice. Like, why am I not in this? But I just wanted to impress the kids I was around. Like, as silly as that sound, I wanted to be great at basketball. Like, everybody listened to everybody played basketball. We all listened to music. I wanted to be up on the new New York rap shit. And I just think that was the culture that embraced me. Like, I grew up in Harrison where it was a lot of Portuguese, a lot of soccer, but I left so soon that I never really embraced that side of that culture. My culture was Newark and Irvington. We were playing basketball, listening to rap music, and I just wanted to rap. And nobody was rapping. Nobody was good at it. No one had the confidence to ever rap in front of anybody.
Yeah. You said you did audio technology at high tech, right? Again, where all the clever kids go. You've got all the gear. Like you said, you've smashed and bought all the gear. Like, what effect does that have on your sound, on what you try and do? Does that add anything to it? Is it just clearer? Is it cleaner? Is it easier to put together? What are you able to get out of that, just having that background in the audio technology? I think the question is because it's one thing to write stuff down and get it, but then it's another thing to, actually put it together in a way that's like an aesthetically pleasing, or it's to go the way that you want it to be. Like, how much was that background?
Oh, there's kids that are my age now that can't record themselves. They'll walk in a Guitar Center, don't know what recording equipment to buy. So in 8th, 9th grade, when I was in high school, I'm learning how to record myself. I know the programs. I know what kind of mics, condenser mics and all that, monitors in my apartment. So the only thing I graduated school with, other than making beats, I could walk in a studio and record myself. One of the final grades for high tech was you walk into their studio, which is $1 million studio. You got to start a session. You got to record somebody. You got to properly set up mics to record a drum, a guitar, and all that, and then have a session and record it, learn how to bounce it, mix and master. So I'm graduating high school at 18, I got a credit card. I got a Guitar Center credit card, and I was able to max it out and get equipment from my apartment where I can make my beats. When there's kids now that don't even know how to record themselves, they're like, oh, can I go to your studio? Can I go to your studio? So I always wrote what I liked, and I always had a knack for rhyming. But what school did for me was I can record myself, and I can make a beat if I want to. You gotta waiting for kids to open up their studio so you can record. You gotta wait on their time. I always had a studio in my house by 2008. By the time I was whatever teen, I always had an apartment with the session in it. I could always record it and get up and record. So I think that's where that was the best thing I've ever done.
And you would just go pure hours on that. You'd just be constantly.
Time would pass like nothing.
Yeah.
just recording. Somebody would send me a verse from France or Belgium, and then I'd send it back to them, and then I have a song in Belgium that's on a French radio. That could happen in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It's silly.
The first album, was it cringy, the first one? The stuff about your dad?
The quality. The quality sucked, and I guess what I was talking about sucked. Like, why? I should have just got it. I did have a journal. I should have had a journal, wrote it, and forgot about it. What I did was I rapped about how pissed I am with my family, my dad, just being a white boy growing up and this shit. That was big. I mean, it was big because the other kids made it big to me. It was hard. And I wrote about it, and I just put it out. It's out there still. Deadbeat Father's Day, and it's just, I wrote a song how my father's a fan. He'll never talk to me, and to this day, he still hasn't talked to me. Yeah. Not saying it's because of the music, but I just wrote how I was feeling.
Did you get, this is one then, did you get lauded for doing it? Like, did you get praised, or were you like, who the hell is this? Like, what's this kid think he's doing?
Honestly, I had my circle that liked it.
Okay, that was like, you had the people around you.
You're doing something positive with it. But at that time, I wasn't releasing it online and promoting it, shooting a music video for it. It'd be online. It was MySpace era. So MySpace, you'd put a song up every couple weeks, and then you'd let it circulate. And there's songs that went viral. But my shit wasn't going viral because I was just rapping my life. I wasn't trying to be catchy. It would just be 3 verses about how my dad yelled and I'd never drink and I would never do anything silly. Or there'd be a verse about, I read a New York Post article about this kid that got killed and murdered, and I'd write a song about it because I was bored. I guess it is kind of cringy. I don't know. It never had like a full album feel. But
if you really look at the stuff that you listen to, I mean, everything now, it's got to come from somewhere. And a lot of that sort of, that genre comes from that, doesn't it? Like,
I'd say
what's going on in and around everywhere. So it's not a million miles away from what a lot of other stuff is. When did you, all this stuff happens, school now, you get all the stuff, you have the background, you're making your own stuff, you have your little group of friends, you're all helping each other out. At what age do you really start putting yourself out there? Like you said then, you record something, I don't know, Belgium. Like, when does that happen? Is that down the line or is that early on?
Oh, man. So I think as soon as the Instagram started popping up, you start going like slightly, I don't want to use the word viral. It's you start meeting people from different sides of the world. You know, really 2017 was a big year for me. I got attention from this label that I always loved, this Fool's Gold Records. I was ready to end it all. I was ready to take all my music down. And this label, this guy, Nick Ketchdubs, he followed me on SoundCloud. And it's just really changed my attitude. I was done with everything. I just had my daughter. I like got arrested for like graffiti, and I was just ready to not. This rap shit, just nothing ever came good from it at the time. I just did shows here and there, rapped about this and that. Yeah, I had a little local buzz. I could do a show anywhere in Jersey City, and dozens of kids would pop up, all my friends. But I'd say 2017, I got a little push, like, man, just try it, keep going. And this label, you know, we ended up doing 3 projects together. And so, I don't know. That was the closest I came to stopping.
You know, was it just like on a much smaller scale? Like, I've been doing this now for 18 months. Only 18 months.
No shit.
But again, you think about like the time and running around and trying to get things done. I always think to yourself, I wonder if they'll get to a point where it'll just, because I enjoy it. I like doing it. Like, listen, I have conversations, people like people like yourself, other people all the time. But I wonder if I get to a point like that. But you say that just that one little gets you back up from the brink again.
Yeah, because you plateau in this.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
It's not every song you reach up a stair. You know, and not every podcast you're going to just get closer to what you want. No one's going to see it closer than you, right?
Yeah.
Other people are like, wow, you did 10 podcasts. You're popping. You're next. But to you, it's like plateau.
Yeah.
I could put out a song with a label. I can have one of the biggest features last year. And it's like, I feel plateau because the high was so high. And then you just get so low and you're just, I'm back to where I was.
Yeah.
But that's an artist. So we all have our personal goals. I don't know whatever you want to be. I don't really know what I want to be. I just want to keep putting out art. And if something happens, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, in the same way, like I feel that as well, 100%, because there'll be episodes where it's like every man and his dog listens to it. Every person and a dog listens to it. And you're like, oh, brilliant. I've cracked it. It's brilliant. Yeah. And then the week after, you get one that you think's good as well, and it's just like you said. It's just like
exactly.
Yeah, but then you just got to keep going, haven't you? Keep plugging.
That's why people quit. That's why people get discouraged.
Do you think that consistency is what will hopefully get you over the line at some point?
I think so.
Yeah,
because there's somebody that's horrible, working 10 times harder than you. That's gonna be bigger
just by
consistency. But then again, their catalog is gonna suck because then people are gonna be like, oh, he has 400 podcasts that sucked, but he was just always out there. I always saw his face on Instagram. Now we loved him, now we hate him.
Yeah.
So there's something that, something to talk about like us where we don't, it could be, it's quality. Quality is going to outlast, I assume. But like, if you want to be super hot, you got to be quantity, and just be in everybody's face.
Relevant as well, right?
That's the thing with me. I don't know. It's scary when people start changing their art to conform. Quantity. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and conform to what they think. But that's the thing as well. Like, funny enough, that was a question. Makes me look good now. Makes me look I'm on about. How hard is it to stay independent, true to yourself, and not conform because you think that, you know what, that'll get you where you need to go? How tough is that for you?
I think people have it in them.
Yeah.
I think it'd be very dishonest if and the people that really, really like my music that I know watch me, they would kind of be like, this isn't you, man. I've tried that a couple of times in my career where these types of beats were popular and I decided to rap over them because I know I could. But my fan base didn't want that. You really just need a small fan base that'll love you, and then you're good. I mean, if you're comparing yourself to Drake or comparing yourself to these guys, you're always going to be disappointed because there's a big machine behind you. But if you have like a good 10,000 people that want to buy your shirt whenever it drops or run your streams up, you can have a really good career,
Obviously, you work in here as well on the side. How's that balance with work and doing this now? Because listen, you're a father now, you're married, you're responsible. How is that, man? How do you manage that and balance that?
I don't, man, because this comes first because this is how I pay my bills. And right now I don't make nearly as close to much money in this rap shit than I do here. Because then I wouldn't work here, But I work Friday, Saturdays where I can have a show every Friday, Saturday if I wanted to. Yeah. I see all my peers. They have shows in Brooklyn Friday. And if I get approached for it, I would like to be paid close to what I could make here. If it doesn't happen, I say, hey, listen, what am I going to be, an asshole on rent this week and not have my money? No, I'm not close to living like that. But what I'm saying is I sacrificed my rap career to support my family. And I'm super proud of it because the art still is being made. Mm-hmm. And I'm just not performing everywhere as much as I want to. But what's cool about that is I'll get text the day after or as soon as the flyer poster like, wow, Vincent Diaz's not on this. What the fuck? Like, what's going on? Yeah. Kind of makes me feel good. But at the same time, I'd like to perform.
Should have done it. But at the same time, like you said, it's that balance of responsibility and, driving the passion as well. So it's a tough one, mate. But it's intriguing how people do it because it is a lot, isn't it? Like, because you scramble, I mean, I'm talking from myself, my limited experience, but like, it's a scramble, man. Like, I'm running around with bags and setting things up and trying to make it work as well. But
the stuff they don't see, it's like a thankless job. It's the things they don't see is what really holds it together. But I don't know.
You've played a lot, like you said, you played a lot of locals, and we'll talk about the one, like the most recent one as well, which obviously a lot of people we know were there as well, seen it. What's the biggest lesson that you learn or have learned from each scene that you've been involved in? Like, there's got to be a difference between playing a Jersey City local show and then versus going somewhere else, maybe even over the water to the other side of the city. What do you pick up from those different places?
Man, the lesson, I don't know, man. I just think about how hard I work on my music, and just performing has to go hand in hand with perform. Like, I want my music to go out there. I'm not a starving artist at this point. I'm not 20 something years old where I'm like, this is all I got. I'm ready to quit my job. I don't know, man. I just like to go perform. I like to have a couple beers beforehand and perform. You throw me anywhere I could perform. I don't know lessons, man. I don't know. I just do what I want. I've gotten the best results from just doing whatever.
Yeah. With the family, from the family side of it as well now, you talked about your dad who moved away or was out of the picture from a younger age from you. Like, what has your family done for you to drive you now? Obviously, your wife and your kid.
Oh, man, I see what I shouldn't do. I shouldn't be an asshole dad. I should always be there, and I make sure my daughter knows how important it is those nights that we're together, because I'm away from her a couple nights a week, working. Mm-hmm. But no, I make sure she knows she's the most important thing. And I'd quit rap tomorrow if it was for her, if she wanted me to.
She wouldn't want you to.
No.
She's too busy making all those little short videos that you make all the time. You two jokers, man.
She loves it. There was a time where she was just like, turn this off. I'd put on me, I'd put on my boys, and she's just like, I don't want to watch this. But she knows that it's something I love, and it's like those nights we have together, and I say, I can't hang out tonight. I'm performing. Mommy's going to stay with you, or Mommy's coming out, or you're going to your grandma's, That's her normal life now. So it's wild because my normal life at her age, and, I was performing and my school was music, but that's going to be her normal life. Daddy's just, he has shows, but she's the most important, man.
Do they ever give you the little pep talks as well? Like, do they buy into this, that, you're talking about sacrificing certain things, and do they give you the giddy up to keep going? And
I've been doing it for so long. I did it before I knew my lady, so no one could really, I don't know.
But they're supportive though. Like, they get it.
Supportive. They know that it's bigger than just in my garage hanging out making music. They know that there's a following. They know that if I keep watering this plant, it's going to grow, and they see it. They see it growing. And I'm kind of stubborn with that, where it's like, this is my job. It's almost like a Friday or Saturday night. I got to do it. And if I don't, Daddy's not going to be a whole daddy. He's going to be like, oh, I could have done this. And it's just what it is. That's the life I chose.
Yeah.
And I chose this way before I thought about a wife and a kid.
What about, like the show last week? What does that sort of thing do for you locally? Seeing people there who, again, listen, it might be regs out the pub. It might be people who've supported you a long way. Like, what sort of things does that do for you?
That show specifically, that venue in Jersey City, Pet Shop, we know we're always going to book it out. I think the weather ended up being shitty, so it wasn't the biggest turnout we ever got. But the boys I performed with, Crazy in the Brains, we've been performing since about 2010 together. So we always bring on a big crowd, which is cool. But that show is important because it's just Jersey City people. You'd be surprised. I do a show in Brooklyn, and Jersey City's so close. They won't pull up. They won't come out. So Jersey City's important. Show the local bartenders, look, we can bring out a crowd. Your bar's going to do great tonight because everybody that follows me is going to be drinking. And
you do shows with other people. Like, how does that collaboration help you? You have the video. Who's the guy that's always in the videos with you?
Oh, Crazy in the Brains, Chris Urban.
Okay.
See, so that's my boy. We've been boys for forever.
So what does that do for you? The two, do you pull each other up? Like, do you bounce off each other? Do you have ideas that you flow past each other all the time?
That specific, it was like, Vinny, we got a show in a couple weeks. We got a show in a week. Let's meet up at the skate park. Let's shoot promo for the show to promote it.
Yeah.
And we shot like 3 or 4 videos that day. We just walked around. They don't drink, but I was outside. We were just having fun. That's really just it, just to promote the show.
Yeah.
Otherwise, those are my boys.
I always laugh at your thing, at your short, your reels and that, mate, because they are funny. Like, I'm like, where the hell's he getting this from? Just
troll.
Just the mind.
I just do whatever, and then I wake up in the morning cringing, like, oh my god, I'll delete a story.
But that's what that's the brand, though, isn't it? Operate with it. Yeah.
That's right.
That's the brand.
It's fun at the time, but then you're like, oh, what an asshole. What a jerk off he is.
Nah, I don't know. I think it adds to it. I think it's good. So. It makes me laugh anyway. It gets me interested, and like you said, that's part of the thing, isn't it? What would be one thing about this journey or this music industry that no one would know about if they weren't involved in it?
I mean, we constantly want to create, but then we're afraid if we put out too much, this happens. If we don't put out enough, this happens. It's just a constant. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
What's the solution for that?
We all have regular jobs. This isn't as fantastic as it seems. Probably like 5% of rappers don't have to work.
Yeah.
It's just, you got it or you don't. There's people that start making music, they start writing poetry, and then they quit because it's just not who they are. I'm at the point where I'm just too stubborn to stop, and I'm seeing progression on a yearly basis. If it's probably not crazy, but
again, you keep watering the plant, though, don't you?
That's it.
What does Jersey City do for you as a place?
In Jersey City, I've
got my hoodie on as well today.
There you go.
Representing, because I've been here for years.
As a late teen, I popped in Jersey City. That's where I met all my best friends at. That's where I lived as an adult. And, we popped out at the bars. We did open mics. You meet some of your best friends out there. You see bartenders. I don't know. Jersey City. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you ever struggled on stage? Have you ever gone on stage? Have you ever gone on live and performed and just shit the bed, or just like,
if I get too hammered beforehand, but then again, you don't remember it. But I always got friends with cameras that'll remind me.
Oh yeah, that's the problem nowadays, mate.
Everything's camera.
That's the bonus of being 20 in the year 2000. Nobody had cameras for us.
That's right.
We could act like absolute tools. Well, we still do, but for the most part, anyway. What would success look like for you in 5 years?
Just living off this. Like, this would be my full-time job.
Yeah.
And using the money I made off it to branch off. Like, I have over 20 years, almost 20 years in restaurant experience. I would love to do something with restaurant experience. That doesn't mean really opening up my own bar or really opening up like a restaurant or franchise, whatever. But something that involves food and beverage or hospitality, my resume. You know what I mean? It's just as long as my music resume.
So you went into the restaurant business in 08?
08, right out of college. I say college, yeah.
What did that look like when you went in there? What did you do?
Serving.
Okay.
I served here and there, and I hit the ceiling. I was being groomed to be a general manager, maybe 2016, 17, and I saw the hours I'd be working versus how much money I'd be making. And if there's no reason why you should be under 30 be managing a restaurant, because you have the energy to serve, bartend, and make just as much with zero responsibility. No, industry's good because it doesn't matter how old you are, you can always be there. Maybe one day I could be a manager of a restaurant. This music shit, if I don't really care about it no more. But
you want the goal would be you get your own space where you can have a restaurant and a bar with performers, and then every now and again you get on and you do your bit as well.
You could see that. I could see that happening. Why
Let's
not?
make that work
Privately, kind of silently own something. I got a lot of friends that are cooks and chefs.
Uh-huh.
Shout out Venti Sandwiches in Jersey City. Maybe make that up and down the East Coast. Make a Venti fucking sandwich
franchise.
Subway and Jersey Mike's. It's gonna be Venti. Things like that gets me excited. But being in a bar 12 in the afternoon till about 12 at night and just managing a place, that's not where I want to be.
No.
Nah.
What does a place like this do, working Fridays? Because you have a good group of followers. I mean, a lot of the bartenders in here have a good group of followers, but you in particular do as well. Like, what does working in a place like this on a Friday and Saturday at the weekends do for you? Does it do anything for your brand, or does it do something for you where you get yourself out there and put yourself out there?
I mean, the money I make here supports the music shit because I'm spending more than I'm making.
Uh-huh.
But these are my demographic. The kids that come in, they're about 22, 23 years old. I make music that speaks to them. They're in a bar on a Friday, Saturday night. That's their life. So they listen to my music. They're like, oh, shit, the bartender gets it. He's rapping about alcohol. He's a wild boy. He don't give a shit. It's perfect almost. I meet about a dozen kids a weekend that'll just follow, subscribe, and be tapped in. They'll buy my merch. I have stickers for them. Some good friends that we meet up outside and have drinks. This is the best place to work. I guess if you're a performer that you do what I do, with the exception of not performing Friday and Saturday. But there's random 2 a.m.s here that the DJ will pass me the mic and I'll do a verse. But you got to be here to see it. Honestly, it's a bad scene. It's fucked up.
I know. Nothing good happens after 12 o'clock anymore for me.
Definitely not in
To be fair, nothing good happens after 10 o'clock for me anymore. I'm such an old bastard now. It's terrible.
It is Hoboken too, so it gets extra wicked. Extra silly.
What do you want people to hear most from your music? And even today, like even us talking, which is great because I get, like I said at the beginning, it's like get to know your bartender. But like, what do you want people to know the most about you? Is it the confidence thing and just act like you've been there before? Is it just the consistency and the drive to just carry on going when you think things aren't there? Like, what is it like that you want to try and get out there? Is there a message you want to get out there?
I don't know. It's like I put so much love in this music, and then I'll have a friend that didn't know I made music for like 2 or 3 years. So like, we didn't know you made music. But in the back of my mind, that's the only thing I have confidence in. Being a good dad is whatever. It's good to my daughter, being a good husband, whatever. Being a good artist, I just think that follows me, but not a lot of people know me for a while that don't really know I do that. I don't know, man. I just want to have fun while I'm here. You come out to a show, you hang out, you listen to my music. There's people that just listen to one song of mine. That's cool. I want to be that friend. I want to be that friend that he has his dream and he just makes music and he's not the drama, the political shit and everything that's happening in the world doesn't affect him. I just really care about going home, making a song, hanging out with my daughter. I make money. It's just, I don't know. That's it.
Easy.
Responsibilities.
It's fair. All right. So I've just bought a DeLorean. I watched Back to the Future yesterday, right? So I've just bought a DeLorean, right? So I go back to like 2000 or maybe a little bit earlier when you go to school. And you can come with me. Well, obviously you'll come with me because we're at the show. Like, but what are you saying to young Vinny and Newark? Grade four. Just got to school. You're like, what the hell is going on here?
What I'm saying is, why is that C4XL? Why do you have wristbands and headbands on your head? Why are your shoelaces untied? Why is there a rip in the jeans? But I'm also going to say, man, just do you. You're cool. I never really cared. What I tell them is just, it's going to sound so cheesy, man. Just keep being yourself. Find out who you are. Raising a child right now, you see their brain. It's like, Charlie, don't do this. And then she's like, well, this kid does it in school. And I tell her, we don't care what that kid does in school if he gets away with sleeping at 9 p.m. Your bedtime is this time. You need sleep. Or this kid does this. And I tell my daughter, you are you. You're amazing the way you are. You don't have to wear your sock like this or your shoe like this. And I found that out really early. And then I met people in 2008 that really did their own fucking thing that made me realize that I'm doing something cool. Not doing cool is being cool to me. I would just tell them, just keep doing you. And I never really cared about school. I would never be like, study harder. I don't know. I feel like I'm perfectly where I'm at in life. Anything, I'm a firm believer in any different thing that I did, I wouldn't be right here. And that means I wouldn't have my daughter. I wouldn't have my wonderful person that I'm with right now. And my mom, she's healthy. Everybody's awesome. I'm meeting awesome people. How could I change that? What if I became a star when I was a teenager? Well, that I wanted. I wanted to be a teen's heartthrob at 15. I wouldn't experience these happy things. I might be in a ditch somewhere. I think I live my life right. Every day I wake up and I'm like, this is my life. I get a little bit older and I don't have $1 million in my bank account, but I'm so rich. I'm so happy. I keep myself happy. I look at my kid and I could, days like this where I could just be home, like this makes me happy. I'm the happiest person. And people tell me all the time, man, Vin, we never see you upset. I might be delusional. I might deserve to be in a padded room, but I'm the happiest person I've ever been.
Fair enough.
Right.
I guess so. Can you?
I love it. Was that the question?
Yes. That was a great
DeLorean. Tell me you're doing good.
All right. Okay, we get back in the DeLorean, right? So then, but we're in the future and we get in the DeLorean again. It still works. To put banana skins in it and stuff. Come back here now. And Vinny, not only would it be brilliant, if Vinny walks through this door now, but he's from the future, he's got like, I don't know, probably look exactly the same, to be fair. Probably got a better.
Still immature and idiotic.
Newer Jameson scarf on his head. What would you want him to say to you about you? I might be a little bit like the last question with 5 years, but say 20 years down the line, what would you like future Vinny who comes in now? His DeLorean double parked as well, so he's got to be quick.
He's getting a ticket.
He's getting a ticket and he's got to be quick.
Okay. What is he saying to me? He's like, Vin, you never stopped. It's borderline idiotic. You never stopped, but you made it. You stayed happy your whole life, and right? You don't know how long you're going to live, but you got to be happy as long as you live and provide for your family. That's very important. Don't spend all your money on dumb shit. You made sure your daughter had beautiful clothes. You made sure all her boyfriends had a nice smack in the face. Girlfriends. You were happy. You were a happy guy. I don't fucking know. He'd come in here and he'd be like, "Man, what's up? Let's get a drink."
He's been told. He's already been told.
He's like, "Dude, can we get an Uber?
Can we get this over again?
Ubers don't even exist in my time now.
Go and get me car out of the pound and we got to get an Uber back." All right, last one. What are you most proud of?
My kid.
What's the one thing she does that genuinely makes you laugh? That makes you think, Jesus Christ, this is definitely my kid.
She's a troll. She smiles, and whenever I see her smile, she reminds me of my mom because she looks like my mom, but also a little half of my wife in there. But my mother, who is the awesomest person, who realistically we're not going to be on this earth forever. She'll always be my daughter's smile. I'll always have my mom's little smile in there. Yeah, that little snicker, that kind of little smart ass little look. And that's really it. I'm not proud that, oh man, putting out music is great and like kids relate to it. I get it. But that's going to come and go. Because I've listened to musicians that I listen to every day and I loved. And now they don't make their way into my headphones now. Mm-hmm. But the unconditional love of having a kid and just protecting her and it being a job that you don't get paid for, it's just thankless. But she appreciates it and she needs it. That's the most important thing. That is it. And I remember before she was born, I lived for this music shit. Like, I'd go out to events 8 days a week and I'd be out there having fun. And I'd wake up in the morning and I'd get to my job and make money. I'd be a total mess. But this kid, man, that's really it.
That can be the right answer. You know that, right?
It has to be.
That's me. Vin, brilliant. Thank you.
My guy, Garrett.
Really appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Before you go, though, I got to go quick fire questions for you.
I love it.
Got to be quick as you can. You ever stolen anything?
Yes.
Can you say? Was it that scarf?
Your mother's heart.
Favorite dinosaur?
T-Rex.
Fucking hell.
It's the only one I can
arms
mention.
aren't long enough to point it like that.
Big head.
One person you'd love to collaborate with?
Action Bronson.
Best drunk purchase?
Beer.
More beer. Last thing you change your mind about?
The outfit I was going to wear today.
It's a good choice, man. It's on brand.
I said I need this Jameson scarf.
Yes. It complements the owl's eyes very well, I think. See? Twits. Favourite curse word?
Fuck.
Favourite place you've travelled to?
London, man.
I know, okay, I know, I got the hat to prove it. Best food you had in London the other week?
Fish and chips.
Did you have proper fish and chips?
I guess so. I had mushy peas with vinegar.
That's disgusting.
Shout out to Sal.
That's disgusting.
He said, Vinny, gotta have the vinegar. And I said, you know what?
Stinking, man, stinking. All right, and then the last question. Would you rather sing happy birthday or have happy birthday sung to you? Because I think getting happy birthday sung to you has got to be one of the worst.
Oh, sing it to me, because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to say it ever again.
Perfect, mate. Legend. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I love you. Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
I gotta get every.
You got to get another one. Yeah, exactly. Can't be operating without liquor.
Unreal.
That's a problem. Cheers, mate.
Weird.
That was excellent. Thank you.
Oh.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you or someone you know has a story to share, we'd love to hear from you. Reach out to us via our socials or visit www.crossingthepondpodcast.com to get in touch. Please be sure to subscribe, like, or leave a comment if you can. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Across Pond Podcasting.